Hi everybody, this is Matt. Thanks for watching and welcome back. I love getting questions from you viewers out there, and had a couple of really good ones come in. The first one was, Matt, how often should I clean my gun, and is it possible to over clean the gun? The second one had to deal with how to properly lubricate a handgun and whether or not to use oil or grease. Great questions. So let's move right along. Here I have a Glock 19. Now this little guy's been a little bit on the cranky side, just coming brand new out of the box, as in the trigger pull, oh man was it bad. Did a significant cleaning on it. Took it to the range and went to the range last night, put just under 100 rounds through it. It was about 50 rounds of Spear 115 grain, and then I followed it up with some Winchester 9mm, but that was built to NATO standards, which you could consider more of a plus P round. And I'll tell you what, even after 100 rounds, this thing needs cleaning. So is this going to be cleaned right after going to the range? Absolutely. So with a Glock, we're going to make sure that there's absolutely nothing in there, no magazine, you know the drill. And I'm going to break this down because the barrel of this particular Glock looked really nasty. So with less than 100 rounds, hopefully you can see in there, there's already carbonization that has built up on the inside. That's under 100 rounds, folks. So there's some carbon right there where that trigger's at. So let's see what this looks like here. Yeah, hold this up to the light. Oh man, yeah, definitely needs clean. So you see the breach right here? See how carbonized, how dirty that is? And that Spear is very clean burning ammunition. The Winchester is a little bit different because a little hotter load running 124 grains through it. So to give you a quick idea, here's one thing that I'll use. I will use frog lube solvent, and I'm just going to spray it right here. And normally one would think, hey, you know, 100 rounds, not going to do anything. Let it sit there for just a second, and we will go ahead and wipe this down just a touch. Guess what? Looks pretty dirty to me. So this can definitely have an impact on how your firearm functions. I can take this same little bit of frog lube and I'm gonna just spray it right there. Come down here on the internals, give it a quick wipe. I don't think that it's necessary after every time that you go to the range to totally take your trigger assembly out, especially on a Glock. And yeah, I got some junk out of there. A lot of times I'll even use essentially a Q-tip to clean that out initially. Now, with all that said, we can look at the slide, and you can even see burn marks right in here. Hopefully you can see that. Like I said, less than 100 rounds. So definitely needs a little bit of cleaning. And is there anything wrong with cleaning it after going to the range? Absolutely not. Now, when it comes to lubricants, I never put grease on a Glock. About the only place that you're going to see me using grease is like on a Sig Sauer. I'll put it on a Sig. I'll also use grease on like an AK in certain parts. And to do that, I'll use this TW25, have it here in this little bottle. You rotate this around. This way you can get good application of the grease. And you might say, well, that's a pretty small tube. Yeah, it is. And I'll refill it with this. But that's what I use on SIGs. Otherwise, pick your favorite oil. It can be Hoppe's, it can be Ballistol, it can be what? Anything that you want it to be. Except what I do is I have this little bottle and just simply take this off, and then I have pinpoint application when it comes to the oil, and that helps out quite a bit. You can really control how much oil you're putting on, because I don't like to over oil things, but things should be clean. Because think about it, here you have something that is mechanical. You have one grade of steel matching up with another grade of steel. You get debris, which can consist of copper, it can have lead in it, it can have other little metals as things wear. And they don't glide the way that normally they are. Think of it like introducing a little bit of sand or sandpaper into it, and you can get premature wear. Now, I know that there are people out there on the internet that will say, well, you know, with my Glock, I let it go for 10,000 rounds before I cleaned it. Okay, yeah, that's fine. But you know what? It's going to prematurely wear out the Glock. If you have the money to replace everything, great. But personally, I want to make sure that my weapons function properly, that it goes bang when I want it to and when I need it to. And if it is really dirty, it might not. Or even worse, you could get a kaboom. You could get a massive failure. So on a Glock, typically what I will do is I will put a very light coating of oil, and I'll catch this ramp right here, because for you Glock people, you'll see this kind of sort of bronze coppery substance here. That's supposed to be there to help it to break in, but I like to put just a little bit of oil right there on the cam surface, and then I will go ahead and I'll put a dot of lube in here on these supports, there, one right there. And at that point, you know, you're pretty much good to go. Obviously, you're going to lubricate the outside of your barrel a little bit, and you'll see right here that I'll hit the barrel hood, and then I'll also put a spot right down in here where there's engagement. But very, very simple to clean. No reason why you can't do it each and every time that you go to the range, because you know, it's kind of sort of just like a car. You can have a car, and I was told a story one time by a garage owner that somebody bought a brand new car and they never put oil in it. Instead, as the oil level dropped, they just kept adding oil. They made it to about 30,000 miles or thereabouts, and the engine was ruined. So I know that's an extreme, but the same thing can happen with firearms. Take care of them. They cost you money to purchase it. It's just going to take a little bit of your time, just a tiny investment to keep them running for a long time, decades possibly. So preventative maintenance is a really good thing. So there you go. That's it. That's my answer for you. And until next time, thanks for watching, and everybody out there, be safe and have a good one.